Hey, what's going on, guys? Phil here. Welcome back to another Mechwarrior Online booster pack review. We're going to be diving into the Predator booster pack that was just announced, and this has two mechs, and that is, of course, the Blood Asp that you see in front of you and the Shadow Cat. And I'm going to be diving into the details of what makes these different as far as hard points, and we're going to talk about the aesthetics. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on it and what I would do with the mechs, or what I will do with the mechs in the future. Of course, I will be buying this with my own money, and if you're on the fence about buying this, you can always show up when this goes live, watch the stream. I'll showcase the mechs, and then you can make a decision. The cool thing and how PGI set this up, as far as the early adopter rewards, is they're also available for 30 days pretty much after the mechs release, so you don't have to miss out on that if you're interested. And I do like that. So again, kudos to PGI for doing that, because I feel like it gives the ability to showcase the mech, see if you want to spend that money, and then drop that coin. So first things first, the striking thing is, of course, the aesthetics. Here we have the Blood Asp in its full glory. First thing you're going to notice is we've got some energy hardpoints in the left-right torso and missile hardpoints in the arms, and we'll get into the hardpoints specifically in a moment. And then we have the general just aesthetics as far as the camo pattern. I actually really dig this. It gives me very Egyptian vibes. I don't know why, but yeah, I definitely like it. And of course, I know a lot of people out there like the Blood Asp as well, but overall, my initial just reactions to it are I like the aesthetics, I like the color choices, I like that sort of bold contrast. It'll be interesting. One thing I would like to see, and it's something that they've done in the past that I didn't like, which is they'll make the metallic camo pattern hold this hue of like green or whatever. If you're listening, Mark Nicholson, I would like it to where the color changes fully. That's gonna be my gripe. I'm gonna hold you to this. You've heard it. Do it, make it happen. All right, so let's go talk about the Shadow Cat. My first impressions here are we have a right torso missile, we have an energy slot in the right arm, and that's all we can really see, except for over on the left torso here, you can see a machine gun, and we'll get into the details. My initial impressions about this is I like the camo sort of, it's almost like a fractal sort of design, if you will. It's not organic, doesn't have any round things. And I actually like that because more often than not on mechs that have those sort of organic camo patterns, when you switch, it's just weird. Yeah, so anyways, I like this. I could definitely see myself using like a darker base color instead of the white. And it doesn't look like we have anything crazy as far as you know, any reflective metallic paints, but we're also going to roll into, these are the items, the cockpit items. You can see this mech will, the pack I should say, comes with a hanging C-bill item and a cockpit item. For those that don't know, again, those can be used on any mech, and they give you the 5% bonus, so that's really cool. We almost have a sort of a drone looking console thing. Yeah, there's that. And then it looks like what the Warhorn is going to look like. We have no idea what that will be, but we have the aesthetics. I definitely, like I said, I get this the vibe from it, and I'm digging it. I like the colors, black or red. Who doesn't like that? So let's go ahead and scroll down here, and first off, it is $20, just like the rest of the packs. What do you get for that $20? And it ships January 18th, by the way. Well, you get 4 mechs, and for those that are unaware, these packs come with 2 of each of the variants. You get the special version that is basically like a hero mech, right? It's not a hero mech in the sense of they'll eventually be released for C-bills, because there's also just a regular version that doesn't get the C-bill boost, all right? The Blood Asp E here, special, so that one gets the boost. And then you get the same thing E, but it's not the special, and you get 2 mech bays included. You also get, of course, the Shadow Cat in the same regard. As I mentioned before, I like the aesthetics. I always, you know, ask people, like, again, if the value here, is it valuable to you? Well, generally speaking, that's going to be very subjective. And also, again, like I said, I will be showcasing these live on my stream over at twitch.tv/NGNGTV. I stream at 12 to 6 p.m. Eastern every single day. And of course, when these come out, I will be showcasing them. So I hope to see you there. You can make a final judgment and go from there, right? So you get 4 mechs, you get the bays included. And then of course, here's the booster pack items. And you get the currency, the GSP, 8 million C-bills, the 100 GSP each. And that's actually really useful just because it allows you to pretty much max out your skills. And if you play the game quite often, you know how to use that GSP. Some people would prefer to just sort of play the mech and build up XP themselves, and that's up to you. We have a standing cockpit item and mounted warhorn, and again, that's what these look like. So I don't know which one. I'm assuming this is going to be the warhorn. I don't know. I'm assuming this little like triangle ish piece is the warhorn, and this is just the standing cockpit item. And then we have some decals, theme badges, and bolt-on flag with badges and stuff like that. So, and speaking of early adopters and bolt-ons, the cool thing is, and for those that again don't know and haven't done a booster pack, is you get these hanging cockpit items, and these are 5% C-bill boost. These are fantastic because it stacks with everything. So right now, with premium time, 30%, a 30% premium mech, right? That's 60% increase. And then you toss on, one of these cockpit items. Again, that's an additional 5. You throw on a tournament support pack. That's an additional 10%. It adds up a lot. So again, that does help. Additional GSP. And then here we have the concepts for the bolt-ons. And so let's go start with the Blood Asp. And as you can see here, again, I'm getting really cool vibes here. I dig this. I think the aesthetics look really cool. You can sort of see, and these are work in progress. I don't think they're final here, and I think it says as much in the post, but I definitely like this sort of like jaws here. Again, I don't know why I get this sort of Egyptian vibe, but that's what it comes off as. The Egyptian God movie. Why am I thinking that? That was horrible. But yeah, I think it's cool. It doesn't necessarily get crazy here. And it fits the sort of motif they're going for, the theme, if you will. So that's definitely cool. I like that. And with the Shadow Cat, we got some sort of like wings here across, and I like this. The first thing that pops into my mind is this would be really cool if these things animated. And if they animated, if you haven't seen, there are some mechs that have some unique stuff, like the spider, when it jumps, it has these little flanges that move around as well. I think that would be really cool seeing this. And again, these aren't huge changes, but they're definitely fitting towards the mech. So I definitely like that. I like these vents. That's sort of cool as well along the cockpit. And yeah, that's definitely, I like that. I think they've been doing a really good job as far as bolt-ons exclusive for mechs. Yeah, I think people, again, the one thing I will say with this that I wish PGI would do is allow those bolt-ons to be purchased outside of that for some of the other, like if you really enjoy that Blood Asp bolt-on, like you should be able to buy just the bolt-on and put those on other Blood Asp. That would be really cool. I think they should do that. Also, when are we going to be able to just purchase these for MC? That's a moneymaker. I would put, I would buy a few of those. Would you buy a few of those where you can earn an additional 5% and just, just tossing that out there. All right, so let's move on to the details here. We have the mech specs, and this is where it gets interesting. And we're going to be using a website to sort of showcase what the mechs currently have and what they don't have. And I'll get into that in just a second using a mech database. So what is different here than the base models? Well, the first thing on, I'm just going to go ahead and just jump right into it, is the Shadow Cat. What is different? The difference in hard points for this particular mech are the left arm being 2 energy and the left torso. The other omnipods, the center torso, right torso, and right arm are not unique. The only thing that's unique on the Shadow Cat is the 2 energy, 2 ballistic torso and 2 energy in the arm. Now, the left torso is where you normally put the, guess what, ECM. So if you go with the 2 energy, you miss out on ECM. So now, though, if you think about this, this is going to be the first opportunity where we're going to have the opportunity to run 5 energy hard points on a Shadow Cat. Keep in mind, though, if you're doing this, that means you take the 2 in the left arm, 2 in the torso, 1 in the right torso, and 1 in the right arm. You miss out on ECM. And obviously, most playstyles with the Shadow Cat, dual ERP, dual large pulse, so forth, utilize that ECM. We did recently showcase a machine gun and Gauss build that you can do right now because of some of the quirks, the ammo quirks and so forth. that allow you to not have to dedicate as much ammo. But all that being said, this does make it unique in the form of those 2 hard points right there. That is actually quite unique. Unfortunately, it does take away your ability to run ECM, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. The only bad thing I would say with this that I was a little bit disappointed with is that the right torso and right arm are pretty much just placeholders. There's nothing unique about them, whereas the contrast, the new omnipods that we're getting for the Blood Asp are very unique, and none of the other ones have that. And here we are taking a look at MechDB. By the way, if you haven't been to this, I'll have a link down below. This website has been updated and it's absolutely fantastic. So whoever created this, if you're behind the scenes, thank you so much. You can register now, save all your builds and so forth and so on. But what we have here is we have a breakdown. As I mentioned, the left torso have an ECM slot. If you're wanting this, you no longer can take, again, ECM. But as you can see here, we have no other energy slot, and that's actually been one of the weaknesses of the Shadow Cats. Well, now you're going to have a 2 energy, 2 ballistic. As I mentioned before, the right torso isn't unique. We're getting a missile. Well, as you can see, we already have a missile. We're getting a energy in the right arm as well. There's nothing unique. And this is where this would be my criticism of the pack. I wish they would have thrown on something. I get it where you don't want to invalidate other setups, right? But that's where apparently quirks are being used. I thought it would be cool if they threw out maybe a 2 missile right torso or 3 or something to where it would benefit, but it would keep it in range for whatever reason what they're trying to do. So that was the one thing. But as you can see here, it does open the opportunity now to have 5 energy, 5 medium pulse, something like that. That we've never been able to have. And it does add variety to the torsos. And again, as you can see here, very lacking, especially in that right torso. So that all being said, that's what makes that Shadow Cat unique, is mainly the left arm and left torso. Outside of that, it's a Shadow Cat, and you'll be able to utilize the hard points as you will. Now, if you do utilize ECM, you're still going to get an additional energy hard point, which means you could do something like 4 medium pulse with ECM. And of course, you know, like that's better than what we could right now, which is 3, right? So, or something like that. For you could do like a heavy large or 2 heavy large, you know, 2 heavy large, 2 ER mediums or something. That's definitely something that you might be able to do on the Shadow Cat that you weren't able to do before. Let's go talk about the Blood Asp, and this is where things get interesting. As I mentioned, the uniqueness, this actually gets 2 missile hard points in the arms each, and 2 energy in the left and right torso. On top of that, we also have jump jets now in the legs, 2 jump jets in the legs. And this is a big deal, and that's mainly because previously to this, if you wanted jump jets on the Blood Asp, you had to go with the A center torso or a left-right torso. And let's go ahead and look at what makes it. I'm not concerned about the hard point or the weapons. That's here nor there. No one really runs stock, and if you do, that's fine. It's got a big targeting computer, ERPs, all that. That's all well and good. I'm not really concerned with that. But if we look here at what the mech currently has, as I mentioned, we now have 2 missile hardpoints in the arms. Well, do we have that currently? No, we have 1. So that's unique. Do we have any energy in the torso, left or right? Yes. How many? 1. So now you have 4 omnipods that are quite unique. And then on top of that, the unique thing about this is you now have jump capability with just using 1 leg. Now, those jump jets are 2 tons each, so you're going to dedicate 4 tons, but you're not locked into having a left-right torso. Or in this case, if you want ECM, you can hot swap. You could grab those from, you know, the Bravo. You could take the Bravo CT and hot swap and still get jump jets in the legs. It just gives options here. And really, I guess that's the main point here is the Blood Asp is definitely the most versatile out of these 2, just of what it adds. Whether you're doing SRAM, ATMs, LRMs, whatever it is, or if you're just going high energy hardpoints, which are super nice. And speaking of hardpoints and high mounts, that's another really nice thing is we do have really high mounts, and I'm talking about really high mounts. And that's one of the things that makes the Blood Asp so good in that regard is its mounts as far as energy and ballistic that we know of. You also will have the ability now, because of the hardpoints, to potentially do 5 energy hardpoints on both sides of the mech. Now, what that might lead to, I mean, again, 3 large pulse, 5 large pulse, I don't know, with ECM, with jump jet capability, it definitely adds a few options here along with all the other combinations out there. So what's interesting with this pack is that I think it's good value for what you're getting, right? We're getting unique hard points that aren't in the game. That adds value in my opinion, because hey, you know, whether or not you like it or whether I use it or whatever, it's something that we don't currently have in the game. The Blood Asp tends to be, I would say, the winner out of the two that adds the most uniqueness. Again, pretty much 6 new omnipods, right? I mean, both legs, both torsos, both arms. Those are things that we don't have currently. I would say the weakest link here is the Shadow Cat, just because, again, the right torso and right arm aren't unique. It doesn't do anything. Now, we could wait, of course, and there will be quirks to this. But it's one of those things where the right torso, I think, sort of lets the Shadow Cat down. But if you're a Shadow Cat player like myself, I think it adds value here with that left arm and left torso. It's one of those things where you don't really see Shadow Cats without ECM because of just how the game is. If that changes, awesome. We'll have to see, but I like being stealthy ninja in my Shadow Cat. And so if anything, this adds an ability to have 2 energy in the left arm that I don't necessarily normally use, and that might open up some possibilities. So again, I'll have to do some experimentation out there. Overall, this has been a, the review of it. I feel like it's solid. You know, I think it's better than the last pack that they had. Is it equivalent to like the Warden? I would say no, but again, the Warden pack really only added ECM to the Timberwolf and Direwolf, where this is adding really solid hard points, at least halfway on the Shadow Cat, and as far as the Blood Asp, it's adding a whole lot more. So what do you guys think? Are you going to be getting this? Did you already purchase it? Let me know down in the comments down below. Do you dig the aesthetics? I do. I think they're nice. I like the concept of the bolt-ons that they're going to have, and again, I hope that PGI offers them, make them C-bill or make them MC, and that they can only be equipped on those mechs. I don't think there would be any issue with that, and I think people would buy them. I mean, why wouldn't you offer that? And of course, still waiting on those cockpit hanging items. Again, make them MC. I think people would buy them. We already have them out there, and people hot swap them, so I don't think people would mind just the convenience of leaving it in a mech or whatever. But overall, I think this is a good pack. I think this is it'll be a good addition. And let me again know in the comments down below, what did you guys think of this? And again, if you're going to be getting it, and if you're not going to be getting it, that's fine too, because as I mentioned, the rewards here, the early adopters, it'll come out, this mech comes out in January, right? January 18th. You're going to have a full almost month to decide on this, and you can still get these extra bits here for early adopters. And again, these additional GSP, that means 400 GSP, is a bonus here that you can still get and again, it has a month. So in that period of a month time when this goes live, tune in. Let me know what you got, I can showcase the builds. Hey, this is what I'm doing. And then you can make an informed decision and then drop your money if you so decide. But that's going to be it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Predator booster pack review and breakdown. And I hope this gives you some ideas out there for, again, your builds in the future. And if you found this useful, click that like button. And of course, subscribe. You guys know the deal. I shouldn't even, it's 2021. You know what to do. And of course, like I said, make sure to join us live on Twitch. And if you guys want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon page. It does help me tremendously, and I'll have a link down below. You can check that out too, where I post content, interact with my patrons on a daily basis. I try to at most. So if you see value there, check that out and support the channel. That's going to be it for me. I'll see you guys on the next video. Until next time, peace.